Yo, what's going on, my people? Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the channel. And boy, oh boy, am I glad to be here tonight. We are in a bull market of sorts, but we are going to talk about all our favorite altcoins, none more so than the bad boy that we found ourselves without following anyone, doing the research in the trenches. 24/7, 365, guys. So anyway, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. I hope a lot of you are doing well. Yeah, we shouldn't really start our live without this. So anyway, let me shout out to everyone first. Big up yourselves. Who is here tonight on this Saturday Night Fever? We are going to have Maud with us, the CMO over there at Alephium. Yes, we are going to have that. But this dog is probably a good place to start, guys, because we're in the business of making money. We're sick and tired of obviously not moving with the dynamics of the market. And yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I can see many familiar faces. I can see the caveman. I can see a lot of you guys. Tim, who else is here? Rago, I can see here. Ron, James, Brasco, Donnie Brasco. I see you, brother. Crypto for life. Crypto is life. I see you as well. Pratik, my guy. AO, yes, we will talk about AO Pratik for sure. Michael Gerard, my brother, good to see you here. Great to be back. You've got Acid in the building, and you've got Dex in the building as well. You got Mr. Hassan in the building too. Hope you're doing well, my brother. Hope you are doing much better than on this Saturday night. Yes, we will talk about based AI. We'll talk about Alf. We'll talk about Sui. Brother said, are you still in Sui? Oh my God. That's probably a good place to start discussions. And yes, I am fully in Sui. I believe in the technology is the most outstanding in our time. And Sui will be talked about for years to come, not because of the hack, but because of the technology. This whole idea of crypto being peer-to-peer instant finality. Yeah, big up yourself, Dice. I'll come to you as well, brother. But let's have a look at the story so far with Sui. Sui had Satus rather had the misfortune of being hacked. But the way, hello, Jerry family here. Nice, Mo. Jerry the turtle. Yeah. Yeah, you guys have been really pushing that one. It's good. It's good to see it's really good to see, when something's actually got a good community. And I kid you not, one of the greenest things in my portfolio right now is a project that I just discovered randomly. Yeah, we are killing it, brother. Brother Mohammed said we are killing it. Yes, we are. In some ways, I think the market hasn't even got going. I mean, we sit here, we talk about large caps. The whales, the actual people that decide the market, they believe, Aptos is a small cap for them. Kaspa is a small cap for them. Right? Honestly, it beggars the psychology of the small retailers. Is just incredible because we believe unless you're in a micro cap, you're not making money in crypto, and that's not necessarily true. As the bull market continues. But let's talk about Sui, because there's a lot of people talking about decentralization issues and many other things. Let's bring on CoinGecko as well. the ecosystem absolutely took a beating. However, I've never seen an ecosystem that rallies or rallied behind the whole situation like Sui did. So right now, if you ask me, you got Lofi doing 13%. You got a new project called AI Suite up 134%. You've got many, many good discounts on there as well. Now, ultimately, it comes down to, let me just stop sharing this for a sec. It just comes down to what your long-term vision is for crypto. Now, let's start with Satus. Let's go to Satus. Because they released an update. And I do believe Satus bounces back to 30 cents, 25 to 30 cents in a matter of time. Because it's got the whole of Sui behind it. It's got Mr. Labs behind it, basically. So let's have a look at Satus protocol first. Sorry, I'm starting off right here. I promise you, I will look at all of your tokens before I leave tonight. QU3 AI, I will check into that as well. I'll look at AO. Where is the question? Yeah, in light of the recent hack, are you still in this project? This has been absolutely ridiculous. So, first of all, we've been buying this thing. Let me switch from market cap, so price. So a lot of the DCA calls have been between kind of like the 4 cents, 486, this region, 6 cents, 8 cents, or sub 10 cents for Satus protocol. So most people in the community are in not in the red. I mean, unless you started buying above 10 cents, which I don't see if you've been in the DXB community why you would accumulate above 10 cents. Majority of us have bought this below 10 cents. Now, the Satus team right now, or the trust, has not eroded at all. So what you have is a golden opportunity, right? A golden opportunity to actually go and farm the Sui ecosystem. This was a black swan event. They couldn't control this. It just tells you how vulnerable crypto is, right? So that is, I'm saying one of the craziest comments I've. Sorry, man. I got to put this up, man. Oh man, I'm glad you didn't say I knew you was the black SHIB. You know, that might have been more befitting, man. OMS Val, you are a legend. I don't know who you are, but I had to highlight your comment, man. That is wild. So you know someone is black by the way they speak. And I'd like to think I have a generic voice. Or did I give you some clues? Maybe I talk about the black SHIB. Crypto's Life said, what do you think of the Tau subnets? I'll come back to this anyway. Yes, I am ethnically a black guy. And I do have an afro as well. Bit curly, but yeah, there you go, man. Anyway, let me continue with my show. Well, that's quite funny though. So the announcement, the attackers stole approximately those 223 million, of which at least 70 to 80% was recovered. And then, of course, we're working diligently to rectify this. Now, dear Siri community, thank you for your patience while our team works on the incident. And guys, it's a golden opportunity. It is a golden opportunity. I see people are spamming this coin all over the gaff. And listen, I have seen your comments. Please, let's keep it respectful, guys. Do not spam. Because people really, I mean, this has been the event of our week. So we really need to kind of discuss these things. The show has an agenda. Anyway, where do we go from here? Well, for now anyway, a lot of people are scared. A lot of people are asking the question. Some have already sold. But I'm not one of those. Purely because I know and I understand how crypto works. Now, am I telling you to ape into this now? It will be brilliant, in my opinion, for everybody concerned if this actually comes down further. If this comes under 10 cents, hallelujah, because this will go back to its glory days. Now, in addition to that, of course, you have on discount the likes of Scallop. So all the affected protocols are on discount here. Now, what you have is you've got a very good TVL, but the market cap is just ridiculously low. So do not, and if you do fade Sui, just know and understand what you're doing, because I don't think you're in crypto to even think that big money rotation is going to happen the way I expect to happen towards the end of the year. My thesis is that we get a trap pump. So they will pump the markets to strengthen belief, all dependent on Bitcoin dominance, of course, and then they'll trap people in the summer. Now, at some point, we're gonna have to kind of sell, and we're gonna have to get out of the market for a little bit, not to be fully out, but at least take something off the table, and then we strike again. So that's the overall plan. But with whatever happened to Sui this week, I honestly believe it is a God-given opportunity to farm Sui ecosystem projects. And then with what Bitcoin's doing right now, it's around that 108,000. But you really don't even need Bitcoin as such. Right now, what you have is Bitcoin dominance controlling your altcoins. We're not in the total 2, we're in the total 3. That means the total crypto market that we're playing is kind of, they get to cherry pick what they want. Bitcoin, Ethereum, top 10, and then, of course, everything else. So right now, you have to hope and pray that Bitcoin dominance does not reclaim this trend. And by all measures, we will get an Altseason as and when Bitcoin has a significant drop. Now, this time round, this cycle, it has been incredibly difficult. The reason why it's been difficult is because Bitcoin dominance has not given us any opportunities, guys. So if you want to actually look at it that way, I would probably argue that majority of these altcoins are undervalued. So yeah, that's my thesis here. Look, we had a tremendous drop here back in 2017-18, 2020-21. We've had this crazy. Like, I'll just show you. It's ridiculous. Like, if you've never witnessed a sustained Bitcoin dominance, for me, most of the other charts are irrelevant, right? We get carried away with looking at way too many charts. This chart has never, ever lied. Whenever there's a drop in this chart, you get an unbelievable sustained, and you'll see it even better here on the daily. Look at this. I mean, look at the date here. So we had a crazy, like we've had these periods where in the last cycle, you can see how few and far in between these drops are, right? We've got these smaller drops, right? You know, we've made money here. We've made good money here, right? And this is all in 2020, right? But the real money came here because you had multiple days for you to sell the altcoins. And we've never seen anything like that this cycle. Compared to the number of opportunities I remember back in 2020 into 2021, we had way more, right? We had way more drops of the Bitcoin dominance in the last cycle. Now, a lot of this is to do with the institutional adoption, and that's what scares a lot of people. But over here, you know, since 2020, probably 2022, after the bear market, we've had this period here, and this is the big one that we experienced. This was the Trump election rally right here, right? And it kind of like over here, if you go back to, sorry, this is the start of the Trump rally. Boom. And then we had this mad period here. So right now, of course, then we had this channel, which is very like, I watch this chart for the community every single day because it's just a beautiful work of art, noticing how this was going to end. One last peak, and then bang. And ladies and gents, that's why I feel like, you know, altcoins right now are all undervalued. It doesn't matter. As long as you're buying decent projects, you're going to make life-changing money. So going back to this, you know, Sui is an interesting one. I mean, a few days ago, I did a video or as part of one of my coins, I mentioned to people that WorldCoin's going to pump. Now, a lot of people hated that video, but it did. Big money doesn't look at microcaps like we do. We look at microcaps because that's where we make the most multipliers. And that leads me to my next coin, which is absolutely going to make numbers. Cockaro. F me, man. If you don't understand this narrative, God help you. This is absolutely going to make money for every single one of you here. And I say that with a degree of confidence. $23 million market cap with the full backing of Shiba Inu. Now, I did make a video during the week, and I did tell the community what SHIB really means. So, and Nero has started to back this as well. Nero's retweeting them. So the dog collection, the Kabusu Mama meta, is all friggin' coming back in such a way that this market cap here doesn't make sense, right? Because it's not on a tier one exchange. But this week we've spotted the Gate.io funded wallet, the Mexi funded wallet. HTX have made content about Cocoro on ETH. And this whole entire ETH thing is going to go absolutely ballistic. And 200 million, like I said, you know, the comparison here is really, really like, it's Nero, right? It's nothing else but Nero. And when you look at the chart, you know, you start to notice this thing has just been right only since launch. So it's a great dip right now. It is a once in a cycle opportunity, and this is what I mean. So what they did was they tweeted and tagged basically, and by the way, going back to understanding what SHIB means in the space after Dogecoin last cycle, even your grandmother would ask you about Shiba Inu. For goodness sake, you can actually transfer money using Shibarium. You could use Ethereum, Tron, if you want to transfer some. So Shiba Inu has a massive, massive amount of clout in the space, including with Vitalik. So the question that I posed to myself was, why would SHIB back a microcap? Right? Because what you have is an ecosystem with the SHIB whales, and there's tons of them, incredibly wealthy. And Shiba Inu is what? $8 billion market cap? 8 billion plus, nearly 9 billion. And last cycle, it got to like 40 plus billion. So it really pushed Doge. Now, when they support a project like this, it can only mean a few things. So we already know the admin team of Cockaro is partially some admin members from the SHIB team. We already know some exchanges are buying. And on top of that, what is the Nero / SHIB whale rotation in this meta? I think this is going to be, I don't know. I think this is probably the easiest call that you could make. And this is what they said. And I'm bullish. Like Shiba Inu for me, last cycle was life-changing money. So they tweeted this yesterday. And this is not their only tweet. Yesterday they said, time to enlist the first ever dark Shiba at Cockaro SHIB. And they tagged everyone that they've got cloud with. Binance, CC, Robinhood, Coinbase. So that, for me, that carries a lot of weight. So if anyone tells you that meme coins are not meme coins are not useful, or probably the easiest way to make money in this entire space, in my opinion. Today marks a year since the passing of Capuso, so it's really, really strong narrative, right? And this is what it is. And if people absolutely made life-changing money with Doge, with SHIB, with Nero, and the fact that Nero community was split between the CTO and the ETH one. So the ETH one got listed on Binance after HTX promoted it, or listed it first, at $18 million market cap. And after the Binance listed, it went to $1.3 billion. The other one, I think the CTO one, did about $250 million. So you're either looking at a clean 10x, you could be looking at 20, 50x, or it could even be more if you've got SHIB not back in the previous ones, but SHIB is clearly back in this one. I think that's an easy money maker, guys. Right? So there you go. So that's been an incredible this has been an incredible meta, and you are way too early. I care about my community enough to tell them when I find something like this, what it genuinely means. You can make decent amount of chunk over here because it's way too strong. The community is also absolutely wild. So that's the update on Cockaro. And we are going to have a field day with this one. Now, the next topic I want to talk about is, let me just bring the next topic. So we've got an AMA next week announced with Alephium, right? So Mode's going to be with us on the channel, and there was some kind of an announcement today randomly that the Swiss government bought some Alephium. I mean, good marketing, whatever the case. But there's a certain kind of vibes right now, and the project is recovering very well. Okay, so brother said, look, what's happening with Alf and based AI? Well, if you look at Alf, we've got an AMA coming with based AI. It just depends on the team, really. There's no, when I compare the two teams, it's not even close. It's not even close. So we are going to have, Maud with us from Alephium. Again, I love the active teams. You know the saying, people buy people and not products. It's absolutely true. And ultimately, it's going to be a great show. We're gonna ask for intelligent questions. We're going to focus on Danube and the Danube upgrade. And I think she's going to do very well in terms of outlaying the plans for exchange listings and to genuinely just talk to us, talk to the community. Again, there's many projects who do nothing. Basically, they don't engage with the communities, investors. So I am really, really looking forward to hosting Maud on our channel. And again, the price has been absolutely storming, up 5% today. It's almost like at 50 cents, 47 cents. And chart's looking for, $52 million market cap. Still volume's only 52,000. Sorry, 500. What is it? Yeah, trading volume 824,000. So that's doubled, which is good. And through the announcements on their AMA the other day, they've also talked about how they are going to, how they really, really are going to push the Danube upgrade with basically not only the technology. So they went from 64 blocks to 16, and now they move into 8 blocks, and that is almost going to be, they're going to be halving. So their speed's going to improve. I will ask you about the tech surrounding that and exchange listings and all of the other things that we need to ask for investing in a tiny, tiny $52 million market cap layer one. Yeah, so yeah, that's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to that next week. What is this JYAI, man? Fuck that. Keep spamming it, so I ain't gonna talk about it, man. Every comment, these bots, man. Yo, we've got them here in the building. Wolf. Yes, bro. That is absolutely all the way to Valhalla, man. Of course, we talked about Alf. Thank you for the hearts, baby. Yeah, I hope the wife is not listening to that. You know what I mean? Yeah, this was a massive, you're absolutely right, bro. A huge Sell the News event. That was, listen, anything to do with these guys. That's why I'm hoping, I am hoping that we get a good run. And, to be honest, to remain emotionless in this game, you've just really got to buy good metas, hold your coins that are maybe not doing as well as you think before you sell them at a loss, and just get into really good projects. Just get into like really decent projects, and you're going to be printing. You are going to be printing mad money. So yeah, I think, do you think the major money will flow into alts? Absolutely. So you have to understand one thing here, bro. These guys are more greedy than us. The whales actually know the rotation game, or the market makers, those in charge of price direction, they know this. So they will. And the way that's going to happen is, you're going to have, again, this is why it's really bad to just base your investment alone on market cap. You've got to really have a good selection between small caps and medium sized to large caps, because at the end of the day, the problem with retail investors is greed, right? They just not, the conditioning is you need to have 20 micro caps, and then Bitcoin dumps a little bit, and then you're screwed, right? So you got to really build a good portfolio. But I do believe gaming will also run. I saw a Becker video earlier on today, and I think gaming has to run, because there's plenty of good infrastructure plays for gaming. That's where I would focus on the most, rather than individual games. And then I would just mix it up with few good single games in there as well. But it shouldn't really be a priority. I think, if anything, memes have kind of like blown away the entire space. They obviously the riskiest, but they are the fairest launches you can imagine, unless obviously when you look at the token distribution, like for example, if you look at something like Cockaro, which is a CTO, right? There are a few big wallets, but it's genuinely held, like the distribution is not as bad, right? Rather than some scammy VC team that's throwing a project onto the market with, like, such a low float, high FDV, like Gunzilla, for example. Gunzilla should do well. It should really, really do well. But your opportunity to play in Gunzilla, you've got a 12-month vesting period from launch in April, which was a horrible launch, by the way, at the worst possible time for crypto. Off the grid doing numbers, but I literally did a piece in the VIP group that talked about the Gunzilla Studios. It's an expensive operation, so of course they need to sell the tokens and make money. And of course, almost every Binance launch nowadays is botched, and that's why meme coins have that particular appeal. But I do feel like the likes of Beam, Prime, Moon Tropica, which we actually 100% or 150% from the lows. Heroes of MAVIA will make a return. I think Carrot will do well, but at the moment it's just on the back burners. There's opportunities like this that are going to have a short term. I do believe Cockaro is a long-term investment anyway. Once it gets few good exchanges, I think things will go nuts. How confident are you on Foxy? Great exchange listings. Bybit have been kind of milking this. And what is the potential opportunity? 50x to 500 million possible. So Foxy, all depends on Linear, right? They made this massive. One of the disappointed aspects, I think Linear is going mainnet. And Foxy, from a $10 million market cap, I just really like the majority of the sell pressure is just happening through Bybit. And it seems to me, from this little recent recovery, I think that $10 million is absolutely not bad at all. But looking at, like I said, looking at the meta right now, you've got to go with the dogs. You've got to go with the dogs. I think the dogs will have a run, but Foxy, all depends on, I'm bullish on at least a bit of a run, for goodness sake. But so far, these are the kind of times to buy these, suppose chain leaders. You know, I saw the same thing with Lofi. We printed with like Toshi, like you won't believe. I think our overall returns on Toshi has exceeded more than 10x at various times, right? So, you know, again, this is another project that did really well. I mean, we were buying this in the mid 20s, 30s, and it's gone all the way up. I mean, all-time market cap was you know over $300 million. So could it do $500 million again with consensus behind Linear, who own MetaMask, and Lofi being their main mascot? I think, yeah, absolutely. It really should do that. The Aura public testnet is going to launch on Monday. Launches this Monday on Alephium. Have you read the docs yet? No, I haven't. I have actually done a presentation video on Danube, but it was just kind of skimming. But that will be something to take a note and perhaps maybe, you know, to discuss the those points with on the AMA. But yeah, great point, brother. Thank you for that. Yeah, it has stalled massively, and it gets no publicity because of sell pressure from the insiders. You know, and also, bro said AITECH, MAVIA, Alephium, not great run, but I believe they all turn around. Yeah, so absolutely, bro. The thing is, you've got to remember, there were times when we got into these projects and they had a big, massive run, right? But then, of course, projects do pull back. And what we saw this year with the Trump inauguration, we should have really known the template. We should have known the template, because the template was in Trump's first term, he did the same. He started slapping tariffs on anything that moves, and that was the problem. Yeah, we talked about Sui at length, and the team not doing anything is not true. You know, you can't believe everything you read, in my opinion. But we have obviously addressed that very well. Now, brother's asking me about AO. I had some really. So I'm probably one of the few people that are actively not only creating content, but I have actually, you know, I hold AO, and there was an announcement as well with AO. AO's utility. And for those of you who don't know, is this supercomputer built on top of Arweave, right? And AO, the computer, I think it's a hidden gem. It's AI, and it's built on the permaweb. And this guy here he's incredible. I think he's one of the best project leads. Now, of course, Arweave and AO, he openly said we don't really market in the traditional sense. But there have been some moves to allow more developers to come onto AO. Now, there are those that are struggling with what the overall utility of the token is. But this post here is absolutely legendary. And it really does go through. Anybody holding AO should really go. The guys, smash a like, by the way. Follow me on X. We've got a lot of people here tonight, which is great to see. But it's pretty technical. But I think I got into Bitenso Tau early, but didn't buy enough, right? So I made sure I've accumulated enough AO now to last me a while. At least anyway, because I am bullish on Arweave, and I think as a consequence of Arweave, and they're actually building even games on this, on AO. I don't know where the post was. But there was a pretty big post about the hyper-parallel supercomputer. I mean, this is way too technical for most people that are meme coin hunting. But it's weird. Game fair launch now live. And of course, delegate your AO to join and you will receive game tokens in return. So, yeah, man. It's weird, man. Like, imagine if projects started to build on this supercomputer, you look at ICP, of course, but there isn't anything like the Arweave AO dynamic on a potential immutable supercomputer. I think that idea is absolutely wild. Do you think Redo can reach all-time highs again? I have actually looked. I was very close to kind of push it out of pilot around these levels. Now, as far as narratives go, right? Resistance dog should be way higher, but this obviously was heavily manipulated. And I think, again, censorship resistance, this should be relevant. But unfortunately, it isn't at the moment. That's because Ton have not been relevant for a bit. Of course, they've had that massive, massive run. And Join the Resistance, I think, has a lot of relevance in crypto. So I do believe this particular meme coin stands for, if you look at its entire history, right? Creation of Pavel Dura, founder of Ton, the open network, Telegram, resistance dog, Redo is a symbolic representation for the fight against censorship. I think that's every single one of us in crypto. So right now, I would say it is undervalued. For me, in terms of even like tokenomics, it's not a bad meme coin at all. And it does really, really stand for something. Of course, Telegrams, censorship. The French took him away that time, and it really resonated with people. So, yeah, I do like it, bro. But when if they do get the hype again, because big layer one hypes are a matter of rotation. I think the powers that be agree they're gonna do like a Ton season, whatever season. But because we're 70% through the bull market from its traditional sense, I do believe if it comes this time, it will be one pump, and you've got to really take profits, because I think we're not far away from when I'm thinking that top of the market will come. So yeah, QU3, thanks to the caveman, and Q3, sorry. A lot of people, Zilla as well, in my community actually brought this super, super early. And I think Becca talked about it as well today. It's not this one, wait. Sorry. QU3. Because they have gone through a migration process. It's probably on deck screener. Yeah, I do like it. I mean, it is actually quite small. Let me see if I find it. By the way, we've got record numbers in here tonight. Unbelievable. It is absolutely incredible. Guys, thank you for the support. Really, really appreciate that. Smash a like as well. So yeah, this is at $12 million market cap. Now, I do believe, I mean, the chart's not looking too bad at all. Liquidity is fairly low, 500K. And of course, you've got tons of big KOLs really pushing this as well. So yeah, we will see how it goes. I think that, a lot of the AI projects, again, they have teamed up with Becca, so you would expect. I was even expecting the prices to pump even more today. The future of MCP servers, and this is kind of like quantum resistant technology, right? So, from a use case standpoint, as the fears of quantum attacks increase, I think in terms of a use case technology, they are onto something. Okay. The argument against that would be sometimes some projects could be too ambitious. So we have seen a lot of these smaller AI coins. But this is what it is. Quantum secure layer for Web3, that's huge. MPC service, that's going to be huge. It means, from my understanding previously, it probably means that the projects can actually build on these servers. So these servers operate quantum resilient chain agnostic compute nodes capable of hosting different models, executing privacy, and so on and so on. Yo, what is that, man? Is that Celine Dion or something? Bro, what kind of music is that, man? I'm looking for Tupac. Looking for Biggie Smalls, man. It was all a dream. Come on, give me some upbeat. Anyway, guys, so yeah, I do like it. I think you've got to buy the dips if you can. I read all of these. Big up to my brothers. New market prediction coming. Ron said, check Aura. Let's have a look at Aura. Is it Aura Finance? Very good trading volume. Looks like the chart has come down. If it's Aura Finance, 100 million tokens, where we at in terms of markets? Only on CoinX and Balancer. Go relatively kind of early. Good circulation, very good volume, and excellent TVL, if this is the one that you're talking about. I do respect projects with large TVLs. They tend to garner more interest. And again, 24 cents to 80 million circulating. It's about as early as these prices go. This was at 24 cents. Let's have a look. Chart wise, I mean, market cap wise, very similar to where it was, 65 cents back in 2022. Older project. And yeah, based AI, really, I talked to the community, bro. I still have my bag, right? The issue with based AI is nothing to do with the tech or the promise of the tech. It is to do with the team, marketing, exchanges, volumes. So all the things that they're supposed to do, I think that's where the project suffered more than what it really should, based on the market downturn. So if you look over here, they are putting down, again, to be fair to them, it's not been a great timing at all. And I think Pepe Coin will have very good run at some point with its market makers. But yeah, these creatures, we just need to see more faces. Is Carl Chasse still holding this? What's going on? And I can't get any answers to these questions. Could I check so deaf? Yeah, sure, man. Guys, smash a like. We haven't got enough likes in this video. This has got what's this? Stone coin? Hell no, bro. What is this? I thought I was a DJ. This is absolutely, you know what I mean? Yeah, nah, something like this carries a health warning. What's up, Dice 5? Hope you're well. Well, said Jerry family here. Yo, let me check this so you bands don't spam my thing, you know. Jay, what's it called? Jerry. Yeah, this is yeah, JYAI. $7 million market cap, excellent volume, available on Mexi by Economy, Accent, L Bank. So got good listings as well, and it has been kind of flying. And I know because my community members have posted this. Jerry the Turtle by Matt Fury Meta. Matt Fury Meta is coming back. And there seems to be way too many, in my opinion, there's just a lot of Matt Fury related projects. But Jerry the Turtle is unique in the sense that it's a bad boy turtle here. I do like it. You know what else I bought? I posted this in the group. Pepe's dog today has been absolutely ripping. Again, Matt Fury Meta. So I think I shared this last night before I went to bed, or early this morning, whatever time it was, at around $2 million market cap. It's now over $5 million. And again, this has Pepe's dog, man. Pepe's dog is one of the few things green in my portfolio today. And again, you know, I went to spaces with the Cockaro community, and these guys also spoke. And I thought it was a good idea, so I dropped it in the Discord DGen. And it just won't cool down. And it's now officially in the OKX wallet, along with Cockaro as well. And of course, Jerry, that we just looked at now. But this, honestly, I didn't even think, you know, I threw some small money in there. And it really, really like just took off. Pepe's dog. It's based on Pepe's dog, a deep cut character for Matt Fury's Boys Club, of course, not a copy, not a clone, a real piece of Pepe lore. He's the protector. Oh my days. It's kind of mental, isn't it? You know, the amount of, but so far, honestly, it really is green. It really, really is great. It's quite funny as well, man. The community actually is ridiculously good. Again, these guys, I met them through the Cockaro spaces. Hope you well. All right, guys. I did look at this AI, Jerry the turtle. My days, man. Have we got anyone else apart from the Bro said, yeah, I did want to check this. Tau, I think, look, I've been in Tau now for a while. I love it. It's in most of my kind of like videos that I do daily. And it is a generational project. It is a generational project. It is something that will, over time, it will grow with crypto. Like, for example, maybe 5-10 years from now, you'll be able to tell your kids, I was an early Tau investor. What Tau subnets are you most bullish of? I think Taubot, I call Taubot as a microcap. And of course, Neural AI has good upside. And the one that I really want is actually a project to do with real estate called I think it's called Real Estate AI, or forgot what it was, but I have it on the list. They haven't launched the token. They should launch a token. And it's, people don't realize, S&P 500 oracles are built on Bitensa Tau, which is absolutely nuts. So if you're coming back in the next bear market, you need to have a plan. You need to have a list. I'm going to be buying Kaspa Tau and Sui, and of course, accumulate, this cycle's kind of blue chip meme coins. Because honestly, it takes a couple of cycles for you to be fully financially free and independent. And again, if this thing goes to 20 bill, I mean, sorry, not 20 bill. If this goes to $2 billion, you're making friggin' out. Like you're gonna be coming to Dubai to polish my shoes. Telling you, man. How high do you think hype can go? Hyperliquid is already massive, but again, relevant to well massive. I think another 5x would be top. Guys, I'm going to turn these comments into. I'm going to turn these comments into subscribers only. Do. Big up yourself, brother. My legend. Oh my days, man. Good, great to have you, bro. What part of London are you from? I'm a West London boy, bro. What part of London are you from? That is lovely, man. Yeah, I got into Cockaro early enough. And I love it as well. It's gonna be wild. Big up Pip. Big up the Cape, man. The black ship is rising. Absolutely, bro. What a bad community, man. The community is absolutely what makes it crazy. Beast Mode said, what is this? She might be better play. Let's have a look at she, bro. If they haven't got at least a Coin Gecko listing, then it is not. Oh man, Sheena Inu. It is, to be fair, the chart is pretty bottom, but I don't think it's gonna go near the Cockaro levels, bro. So sorry guys, I'm lagging a little. So yeah, final day of the Premier League tomorrow. close these charts off. Amazing, guys. We've been here for an amazing hour, and Jerry community in the building, man. Listen, it is looking good, bruv. Oh man. Yeah, Maud's gonna be with us next week, and I will release the date, of course. And yeah, big up Johnny. Hope you're well. That's my brother there. Crypto G in the building. Is that Crypto G? East London all day, bro. Wow. Big up to East London, man. Listen, I used to go to the Rex when I was a kid, and the whole area has changed now. And you know what? Nitro, that's a good shout. Nitro's been absolutely doing bits. It had a nice dip today, and it's playing off that. I mean, look at this chart, man. This thing could go. This thing could run. next week, bro. Yeah, look, this thing can run. Bro said pump swap on Sol. Jerry the Turtle. Sorry if you've covered this either way, but yeah. After the hack. Yeah, we did cover this, Omar, and Satus is going to do fine. I think what you would notice is I did share something about crypto hacks in general anyway, and nobody remembers this shit. Like in a bull cycle, you know, it will all be forgotten. And I guess the opportunity for us is now really. It's just, you know, Satus is not going to go anywhere. It's got the full backing of Mr. Labs. Of course, people are critical of the team, but it is natural. You know, if you look at Ethereum, Solana hacks in the past, they've all been absolutely monumental. So, yeah, it's unfortunately, you know, I remember when SHIB got hacked twice. Twice is a problem. And, you know, I mean, this happened once. They got their funds back. They froze a lot of things. It is such a big shame, but this is what we're looking at in our industry. But this is what we're looking at, bro. Like, it is absolutely incredible. I mean, this is crazy. Look, Rec database. They've even got Silk Road on there. So a lot of these are rug pulls, right? Mantra, an inside job. We know what happened to Terra Luna Classic. AfriCrypt was a huge rug pull. Silk Road, forget it. Then you've got all these BitConnect. I mean, who remembers this? But the Bybit one was really weird. Access control. And there is some data by chains as well. So some chains got hacked more than others. And I think that you know, that's part of life. But yeah, the projects will move on. Yeah, looking forward to Maud speak. But it's a good project, amazing project, bro. Yeah, it's actually good to have. So if you are a crypto project, and you want to sit down with our community, you're more than welcome. It's just that a lot of these founders are cowards, and there's very few like the Alephium team. Let's be honest. They want to come on, they want to talk to the community, they want to explain the project's direction. That's all unbelievable. I think that's it, guys. We've done an hour, and it's been an amazing, amazing turnout. I would like to thank you, and of course, Jerry the Turtle. Honestly, you guys have made it. But listen, going back to Nitro. Oh, Mr. Gregory's in France. Bonjour. Bonjour, sir. How are you? I just saw your comment, man. Enjoying any recommendations? I plan to visit the. Oh, man. My brother is in the. French people, look after my brother, man. He's a special one. I didn't see him belt as well. Pratik said if Pepe coin reaches 600 million market cap, why not Brett on ETH? Yeah, absolutely, bro. Yeah. Now, you know what? To be honest, Bale is probably better to move on from this one. When it pumps, again, utility wise, I don't hear a lot these days. Bro said, I've got about $100,000, got some Tau Sui on dough. How much should I put into Cockaro? I think, look, for me, right, it's imperative to balance the risk. So $100,000, if you've already committed to Sui Tau Ondo, I think again, relative to that, you should probably do, I would chuck in at least 10 minimum. Absolutely, absolutely, Dave. My brother Pete in the building. I hope you're well, bro. Absolute Cockaro, man. Like people don't understand how, like, again, it's not financial advice. We always say that to try and protect ourselves emotionally. But why should I apologize for something that I'm putting a lot of money in? I'm going to print. We are going to print with Cockaro. It's absolutely stupid. Like people shouldn't really care sometimes. You've got your safety net, you've structured your portfolio. So multipliers. This meta, this whole narrative is too easy. If you're with me back in 2020, 21, I didn't have a YouTube channel, but that's how I used to talk about projects like Shiba Inu because it was just an anomaly. It was insane. So yeah, I think Cockaro gets at least $1 billion, and $1 billion from here, guys, is life changing money. It's not Lambo money because you're going to come back with stable coins in the bear market. You're not going to be stupid. If you watch my video today about Dubai, I think that will be quite interesting to a lot of people. You really have to think about getting this money. And nothing is anyway, everything is just unrealized profit on as digits. Like you've got to really secure the stable coins. Then you need to own something in the real world. Whether that's in properties, you don't have to do the Airbnb thing. That's kind of like how a lot of people used to do this, but start a business, move somewhere where there's tax breaks like Dubai. There's a lot you can do with your money, but one of them is not buying a Lambo. Yeah, Cockaro all the way, bro. Say or Sonic, if you had to choose one. If I had to look, say is an interesting play because Say has slightly smaller market cap than Sonic. On the other side, Sonic is attracting developers by paying developers to build on it. So I would say first cycle, of course, Sonic had that rebranding. I would probably say just Say. Because Say, people like Circle are behind Say. And what do you think about well rotation? So the chances are they'll rotate into plays like Say, Sonic, of course, Aptos as well is the other obvious one in that kind of smaller layer ones between 1 to about $3 billion market cap. Yeah, we might do another show tomorrow, guys. But it's been an absolutely brilliant one. And let me just go through if I miss anything from anybody. We talked about Nitro as well. I am holding a sexy bag of Nitro. Talked about Sui. We talked about actually Kaspa. I did actually post today in the VIP group. It's probably the last chance for Cas at these levels. So most of us, anyway, our average entry is generational. The rest of us have actually bought a decent amount at around 5 cents. I did a buy alert on that. And today I just posted that this is the last kind of, that's it. It's basically close your bags now or forever hold your peace. Because again, with smart contract, you will see something called a TVL here. Right now, Kaspa TVL is not calculated, right? So you will actually see the Kaspa TVL, and once you see that, boom. With smart contracts, it really should have an impact, and that's what the Crescendo upgrade did. Yeah, much love, brothers and sisters. You are most welcome, and lots of love. And yes, Zimic has taken off. Absolutely, Prince. It has. Today was like kind of like just under $400 million market cap. Because they have, of course, a real RWA utility use case. Yo, Crypto Danks, my brother. This is a man that I really respect and admire, man. Bro, let's do a show together. I'm really looking forward to doing a link up. One of the few good guys in this space, and somebody who's honest and very caring. So yeah, guys, if you haven't been and you haven't seen Crypto Danks' channel, go check him out. Crypto Danks. What a guy, man. Follow him on X as well. Bro, put your socials in here. How Pepe Coin prediction next week? Pepe Coin, I mean, based AI, the whole ecosystem needs an uplift. Send me a link and I will come on. Absolutely, bro. Yo, you want to vibe now? Let me know if you want to vibe now, bro. Yo, listen, guys, honestly, follow this man because again, you're not gonna get. He's one of the very good people in the space. Oh, send it right now. Of course. No worries, bro. Let me send this to my brother right now. Yo, unannounced, exclusive, once in a lifetime opportunity with my brother, Crypto Danks. And I'm going to send that message to you right now on X, bro. Guys, yeah, this is happening right now. Yeah, I've just sent it to you on Expo DM. So change your plans. Change your plans. My brother's going to be on here in a minute. We are going to friggin' vibe here, man. Yeah, that's good, man. Really looking forward to it. So yeah, so while Crypto Danks gets on, we will continue. Let me see if Bro got the message. So yeah, guys, you need people like us in this space because we don't do this to flip projects or take paid shills or whatever, man. We're here grinding 24/7, 365, putting our money into the market as well. That's great, bro. It's really, really good to see that. Just wait for Bro. So, guys, do let me know. Smash a like, obviously, and do let me know if you are holding any of these tokens we spoke about. Bro said check Fluid. Yo, let me turn this down. Bro's here, I think. Yo, Danks, can you hear me, bro? Yeah, Danks onto the. What is going on, bro?
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
How are you?
I'm good, man. It's good to see you. Good to finally actually I saw you. I was on the wire with my boy. I was like, oh, I was on X. I was like, oh, let me go see if I can. Let me go hijack this fool real quick, see what's up, man. And it was so cool that you brought me in, man. So it's let's vibe a little bit, bro. What's going on, man?
Bro, it's amazing. I'm so sorry. I should have messaged you on X. I've just been on a crazy one, man. It's the market has been crazy, but people are waiting, man. Let's go straight have this talk on set, man.
I literally popped in as soon as I messaged you, so I'm not up to speed at all at what you got going on right now. So quick rundown, and I'll be happy to talk. What are we looking at here? Circulating 26. What is this? This looks like what am I guessing? Kaspa.
Yeah. So everyone, I think everyone, listen, people, you can see me in Danks, of course, DXB community, Crypto Danks' community. I just want to welcome my brother. This has been a long time coming. I never expected we would have just got on a random Saturday night, bro. But it's amazing to have you on here, bro. How are you?
Hell yeah. I'm so good, man. It's been pretty hectic for me. I got a lot of stuff going on. It's very interesting. I'm sure you probably see it also, how we went from, we peaked in like March, April, Mayish last year, 2024, and then crickets, and now finally we've got opportunity again. People hitting us up, yo, what do you think about this? Can you consult on that? This new project, this and that. Now we got
I think we've froze a little bit.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna just clear my cache, and then it might help because I have some coding shit open right now. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, let me close mine too.
Okay, I think I closed what I needed. We should be good. Yeah, I'm pushing 28% across. So yeah, I just knew. I was like, all right, this I don't know many other projects with these tokenomics and market caps. So talk to me, man. How are you feeling about Kaspa? I know obviously there's a lot of FUD. I personally had a heavy hand in it because I'm not a fan of what KRC20 was and what it ever will be. And I think they completely ruined KRC20 as an acronym or whatever as well. So, but like you, I'm about that paper, big dog. So what do? I sell and I just wait. I just sit. And guess what I do is I wait. And then April 5th, 75K, and I just unloaded the clip, bro. And that's it. It doesn't have to be that hard, you know?
It doesn't, bro. And I think the one of the disappointing things to see is a project of such magnitude and no recorded TVL. That's always been why Kaspa has lagged behind, your SUIs, even your, Aptoses and these types of layer ones. But I think a better time will come again. I love the fact that, unloading that clip,
I think.
Yeah, bro. Go on.
No, sorry, my bad. I'm on your show, bro. Please. I'm all amped. So I'm just like, I want to I haven't talked at all.
This is the beauty of having you on here, man. You can see I'm excited because I go back to your videos like many a month ago, and I love your content, bro. Like, honestly, as far as good people, I mean, crypto brings people together, and very quickly you'll start seeing, shit leave the space and good, honest men doing hard work coming, the cream rises to the top. And I think your content, for me anyway, is the places where I go and relax and get real information, man. And I thought we had to plan shit and, I'd message you, you'd message me back. But man, Biggie said, I drop unexpectedly like bird shit.
Dude, it's interesting because right around the time when you and I started chopping it up.
Yo, we got so many bots, like, what the there's bots everywhere.
Just unfolding, and we're catching it, we're experiencing it, and it's been an interesting journey. I think you have a little bit more experience in this business than I do as far as crypto is concerned, but I'm a very fast learner. I've been in Forex for over 20 years, so this was something that I gravitated towards. But when we met, I think it was about Sepral, and there was a whole bunch of stuff going on, and it's just interesting how like something that was so like dark and weird and like twisted and nobody knew the truth, but then there was a lot of actually great relationships that brewed, and also ones that needed to died, right? So like, and it's not just like our little, like I talk to Sepral occasionally, like, everything's cool. Like we end up, and I think that as long as we can keep the differences, recognize them, but also not let them cloud our view and our judgment about everything that we have, might be against somebody else. But we, in this business, in any developing business, we have to stay open-minded, and I think that's what's kept us here. If we weren't open-minded, bro, you and I would have both been out by now. I guarantee you.
Absolutely.
It's hard to stick to one, two, couple of crypto and watch them just like up and down, That's why I always like to take profit.
No, absolutely, you're right, bro. And I think, again,
what are you into right now?
So the core thesis hasn't changed in terms of like SUI, Kaspa, Tau. We've heavily farmed the SUI ecosystem, and it was interesting to see the hack this week because it kind of brought things back into perspective a little bit.
Sure.
But I became.
I had a question real quick, if you don't mind, on that. Now, SUI, Satus, obviously on the SUI chain, right? So SUI says this is not an attack on the SUI blockchain. But what is the difference? I don't understand why they would say that. It's the same, no? I know that SUI has ZK and it's a DAG. I just don't know if Satus is, and I don't know why they would even come out and say, like, that's kind of a weird statement to say. You know what I mean? Like, we all know it's the same chain.
It's been defensive, and I think we got that straight away because it's obvious. it was, of course, it's the SUI blockchain. And where I see the way I see their technology, I mean, there's nothing like it in terms of like, you know, that finality. You know, we've done transactions on SUI, and
I mean, sex to sex, it's like snap. You know,
it's incredible, bro. Whether it's to an exchange, whether it's to your own. So it really, like, in terms, like, if I've been to their office in Dubai. Their setup is, you know, Miston Labs, and this is kind of like, it gives you that early Facebook, or at the height of even Facebook, or Apple or Google. It's that corporate. And when we strip down the internet, or when we look back at because a lot of people tend to struggle with what crypto is. Because
of course,
you say crypto, like, you know, you probably got family members. So Danks, you know, what are you doing? And you're like,
They still only know Bitcoin. That's it. They don't know crypto. What's crypto?
Exactly. Well, you know, that's a scam, right? And
of course,
when I think about this stuff, I almost go back to the early 2000s, bro. You know, late 99, early 2000s, during that whole .com bubble, where a lot of everything was rising up. And the way I explain something like a SUI is, you know, if my grandmother asked me, you know, what is crypto? I want to explain without really talking about the money side. You know, how can someone understand what we do from a technology standpoint, and where do we fit in the greater good of things in life?
It's like a very no frills, straight to the fucking, straight to the point.
Yeah,
and that's a very good representation. I like that. That's a good analogy.
Absolutely, bro. So if we look back in the early days, I remember actually seeing I have a, you know, rest his soul, he passed away now, but one of my uncles was a Kodak engineer. So every year, once a year, I used to visit him, late 90s and early 2000s, in Rochester, New York State. And if you remember, Kodak had the option to actually go digital in the 70s, but they never did that. But that killed them off. Eventually, there's billions of
Polaroid, I think, did. And they were the competitor, right? Yeah.
And the way I look at, for example, stuff like SUI, and I use them in isolation because I think they are a representation of the technology. So Internet version 1 was simple messaging. You know, I could go and use AOL to send you an MSN Messenger, and then it drops into your desktop, and it makes that famous noise, didn't? And then, of course, you're excited. You know, you run over there and you know, check if this is from a love interest or a friend or whoever is messaging you at that time. So that was what we used the internet for. I mean, the first version, like Windows 95.
We didn't even have text. There was no text messaging back then. We didn't have cell phones. I remember. You know, you're probably about my age, so yeah. I mean,
yeah. So we used to go to the library, and there's a shared PC there, and you type up your homework, and you eventually you end up printing. You wait 50 minutes for your print to come out, and you were on top of the world. You know, I've just kind of like, I've done this. Then the second version of the internet came, and we started to attach multimedia. So, you know, I can send you a picture or a JPEG or whatever. And then we had this evolution of internet
for my stream, so it doesn't cut me out. I got you.
Yeah. So then we had this internet, bro, where we were able to attach multimedia, and, you know, then eventually that grew to like face-to-face calling and shit, right? And now we're talking about Web3. So in Web3, it's really about ownership of that friggin' data, man. Like, it's decentralized internet. So Google don't own it, Amazon don't own it, we own it. Now, at the top of that, I believe the SUI technology is, because it's all about adoption at the end of the day. And I'm telling our communities, if you are able to say in 2025, let's say bear market comes in 26, 27, within 2 cycles, I think, or within, another cycle, you can make that generational wealth. So when you hear the Solana maxes, the Ethereum maxes, the Bitcoin maxes, and that's the kind of technology shortlist that we should be looking at. So the question becomes, can Sui onboard 1 billion users? I think they can. I genuinely think they can. I think you can, if you come, when you come to Dubai, I'll take you to their office. You're going to be so, yeah.
I mean, I've been torn, bro. I really have. I'm lucky to have gotten in on Sui at the price I did, but you don't see a lot of tokens on their dexes, right? There's a reason for that, and I really haven't been able to figure out exactly why, except for one. As a coder, I tried to write. Actually, I didn't try. I wrote a smart contract on Sui because it was new and it was like in the middle of the bear market. And so I started writing the code, and then AI came out, and I didn't know, like, Sui is, you know, it's on from the Libra program from Meta. They closed in 2012. So they used it for Aptos, and then Sui, and then Move, but they're all 3 different derivatives of the Libra project from Meta. So this technology was actually built by the team of Mark Zuckerberg. But what's unique about Sui compared to the rest is that it has 0 knowledge proof, and it's a DAG. And I don't know if I've ever even seen a DAG proof of stake, you know? So that alone exponentially, that's why it's fast. And also, if people don't know, it seems like maybe it might be sleeping, but I think they might be trying to figure out exactly how to move in this direction. And I'll tell you why. I did a deep dive on the technology from Libra, and I wanted to figure out, would Move, Sui, do they all do an Aptos, right? And at the end of the day, I wanted to be believing so, because Sui is now proven to be number 2 and it's doing very well. But then my boy said, he's like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's about who they're partnering up with. And it could literally just take one of those 100 partnerships to throw them into the stratosphere. And they're doing the partnerships. There might not be a lot of crypto out as far as like thousands of, but that's probably a good thing. The last thing we want to see is another freaking pump fund destroying the economy in crypto. We used to be able to make money in crypto. Now you can't do shit. You can't make money.
Oh my God,
you do nothing. You know, nobody can do anything. Everybody's rugging each other. It's like crazy, man. I stay away from that. So I pivoted. I'm out completely of meme coins. I only mess with, like, you know, my most degenerate play is White Rock. After that, it's Jupe. After that, it's AI16Z and virtual. And then it goes up.
Damn, bro, you've cleaned up, man.
I have. You know me, bro. Like, I could show here. Let me show you. I was funny because I was going through my old port and I was like, oh my gosh, bro. Let me see. I'll send you the picture. Feel free to pull these up right here. They're just the tickers. And you'll probably get a flashback. I bet you will.
Oh man, let's have it, bro. Let's have it. It's I'm still a filthy degen, man. Like,
me too.
I can't stop, bro.
You got to click it though, because it's bigger, so it'll open up all of them.
Let me see. Did you share it?
I sent it to X. Oh, I could send it here too. Let me see. I usually
you could just let me stop sharing.
Oh, I could put it in the chat. Oh no.
Yeah, let me check it out.
What's so cool is I got into this market right when Kaspa was at like crossing 2 cents. Really, I really got serious around that time. It was like around 1.5, like 1 or whatever. And then once it did 2.2, 2.3 cents, then I started getting in. And so that's where my experience in crypto truly starts, as far as deep diving into everything. But
wow, bro.
Bust that out. Let me see. Let's put it on the stream. Let's see if do you want to or no?
No, I'm gonna let me share. Wait, I will.
Or I can present. You want me to present?
Yeah, bro. Go for it.
Do this. We'll do this. Let's go present. And then if there's anything, if you want me to run at anything that you're curious in my perspective, I would love to, to run it down.
I'm obviously I've got it here on my screen, but I'm literally seeing the way you clean this up, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tokens. Beautiful.
Yeah, here, I'll actually open my port. I don't mind. It doesn't
I can
me, I think. See if I'm streaming here, and then we could talk about a little bit about why and if any of those. So this is okay. So this was okay. So what's you're seeing on the screen now with Kaspa at the top, GFAL. This was the portfolio that I got into with Crypto Galaxy, Crypto John. You know, I was watching them before I got into this space. Yeah, and I actually never look. This was never meant actually I shouldn't say that. It was meant to be. It was never intentional for me to make a YouTube or a server or anything. But the only reason I did it is because Crypto Galaxy was trashing on me that I was doing quite honestly really good TA for his standards, and he does, whatever. And then he kicked me out because he said I was trying to steal his clients by showing off with TA. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go start my own. Yeah, I was just starting my own thing. That day I pulled one member for and then a few after that, and then I started my channel, and the rest is history, man.
Damn, bro.
So I actually, instead of a big fuck you, I owe you a big thank you, CG. So thank you, bro. I appreciate you, big dog. I'm not as rich as you yet. I don't know if I ever could be, because I'm not, I'm not as smart as you.
Bro, it's funny because I never knew. And it's funny because you look at someone's success, and sometimes you don't really realize the people behind it. And I never knew, because I knew that guy was he was funny, but
yeah, definitely engaging.
I didn't know you did the charts and a lot of that good stuff that really is needed to. Wow, I didn't know that.
So he was cool. He was cool, but then as soon as somebody asked me, "Hey, bro, can you teach me?" I was out. It was like instant. I didn't even have a chance. He brought me back. Somebody else asked me again. He's like, "I can't have you in here." I was like, "Bro, you that threatened by me? I don't even have a whatever, bro. It's all
damn,
good.
Bro.
I'm happy.
You did the right thing, bro, because like I always tell people, man, this space is full of like shady characters. And I think, when you have good creators with good, honest intentions, and again, most of our audience, people recognize that, like they say, real recognizes real.
Good to see you, Vapor Trails. Sorry.
Yeah, that's how you started, bro. That's that's a very good I said, wow, very good background. And someone saying here, we've got obviously people turn it up, which is lovely to see.
It's like,
yeah, you trading as well.
You see people, it's like, man, I haven't seen these names. Like Pratik, it's been a minute. A couple of these guys I've seen the cheese, so it's nice to see and people popping in. Let me switch my screen to my current portfolio right now, if I can present.
Yeah.
Stop screen, and then we're gonna share screen again. Window entire. We'll just share the screen here. There you go. So this is I cashed almost all the way out in the summertime, like a little after the summer. Like we already had a rocky just all the way through to summer after the winter and spring, and so I was pretty much out. I did really well. I had a great first bear market, which happened to be my bull run. I made way more money in the bear market 23 and the beginning of 24. I mean, to be honest, my bags just started again. I just put in my first orders were around March, something like that, on this new portfolio. And I started with $1,200. I DCA'd whatever I could. I have my look, just because I made money doesn't mean I still have a shitload of money. And I need to let people understand right now that money comes and goes so fast. It doesn't matter how much I'm so nervous. I'm clicking, like switching screens. Like I'm telling you, you can make $2 million and be like, having a $30,000 portfolio a year later. Trust me. Okay,
it happens.
And it's all good because I didn't lose that, but I wasn't aware of Solana going from 90 to 200 or whatever. If I did, I would just left it all after making that and then doubled everything. But that's what's beautiful about this space is it's a never-ending learning experience, and the learning only makes you better, not worse.
Bro.
As long as you're learning from the right, like hopefully on your own through research, but maybe somebody that does care, you know, like yourself.
Yeah. Oh, bro. That's 2023 was an exceptional year. Because I think the opportunity was we still had that 2021 mindset of kind of like, space wasn't saturated with pump.fun. We just had the bonk airdrop. Everybody was farming Sui NFTs, thinking that we were going to get a massive airdrop that never came. And, things like Pepe popped up, Turbo popped up. So that was a really, really good time. I like that portfolio, man. Like is that the current one now?
That's yeah, I got it. Honestly, I fudded myself straight out of Move. I'm not the type. I'm really not the type to do that. But it didn't make sense to me. I think there's way other opportunities that I don't have to deal with the bullshit behind Move right now. And I think that people get so caught up and engaged to their asset that they don't realize like what's staring them in the face is scam, lies, and more scam and lies. I'm not even trying to be around that. You know what I mean? I just want to be on the up and up. And I want to find things that are going to make me 20%, 30% in a couple of weeks, take my profits. Like this AI16Z bag, I only put like, here, we can go look. How much did I put in here? It's like it's like maybe 1,500. And that's Tau. Shit, sorry. AI16Z, my bad. Yeah, let me go here. AI16Z, when everybody was fudding out of it, I was buying that shit at 17 cents, 18 cents, 16 cents, 13 cents, 13 cents, bro. Everybody else trashing. Look at how fast. Look at the date. 16, 13 cents. 2 weeks later, basically 2x. I mean, it's like that's 100%.
Recovery is mental, huh?
Especially in these new emerging markets, the AI agent sector with virtual. I actually think are you familiar with these two projects at all, Virtual and AI16?
Oh man, I have a story for you on virtuals.
Let's hear it.
Bro, it's not a good one. It's a lesson of patience. And so the community will tell you, I'm here 18 hours a day. And I came up with the thesis that this thing was going to be a hit. So I posted a buy alert, and then I placed an order for a good bag of virtuals, right? Didn't do nothing for a bit. And then I added spectral because what I thought was spec or virtuals will literally blow on base. So it was way under 6 cents. I mean, I think at the time it was like 4.5 or whatever it was. Loaded a huge bag, and then I ended up selling it. Now, this is something that people don't realize sometimes is we are human. And for every success you share, there is a failure somewhere that stands out and stays with you mentally for a long time. Last cycle it was H-bar. I accumulated 1 million H-bar at Peanuts. Panic sold. I think you remember after he went to, I think it ran up to like, 38 cents or whatever, and it was falling. And I've managed to offload like 400K. Came into the bear market with 600K H-bar, kept it all the way throughout the whole of 23 and 24. In September, before the RWA pivot, I sold it, man. And then the price started rocketing because I looked at it. I thought this motherfucker is not moving for like, what am I doing here? 4 years. I was like, this is getting me locked up like Akon, man. I can't do this. And every day I used to say, man, they won't let me out of this one. Like, and then honestly, a week after I sold it, bro, That motherfucker, like literally ripped all the way nearly to like eventually like almost 40 cents, which is like bull market prices for H bar. But the virtuals one, and the community will tell you, like, there is a buy alert at 3.5 to 4 cents in my Discord for virtuals protocol, man.
Oh my goodness. I wouldn't doubt it, man. It was ripping beyond belief. I mean, when you see something like that come out of the woodwork, it's never been done. It's super hard to replicate, and it's a first mover, and there's not anything else like it. I mean, it's such a unique project, and being a coder, right? It's understood, right? Eliza is understood by me. Virtual is understood by me. Everybody else in my life is like, what the hell are you doing, man? Are you insane? And then 2 weeks later, I'm like, I didn't put as much as I would like, but I'm not insane, at least. You know, so it's a subjective game, and it's exactly that. It's a game, and you got to get good at the game, because guess what? You're playing against motherfuckers like me and him, and I don't take this shit lightly. I got a family, I got 4 cars, a house, and a expensive like lifestyle, because I like to live that way. But I have to make that money, and I have to be ruthless. You know what I mean? And if you come in my community and talk to the people in my community, I'm sure most of them would probably say he's very straightforward. But I've learned from my own being treated as, you know, I just learned that it's best to really do as much research for myself as possible. And then what I learned is not only the research, but through teaching, it's almost like leveraging my education, because I'm teaching myself again. You know what I mean? So it's just like boom, boom, boom. And then here we are. Now I do have a funny story for you as well, similar to that. I was in CG server. I hate to keep talking about it. I don't like to do that, but whatever. Maybe I do, I guess. I don't know. I do so much. So fucking Tau at 51.50. Sold it. Solana, $19. Gone. Chainlink, $6. Skirt. I mean, man. And then we held GFoul, Joystream, and I don't know what else down to the dirt. And then he decided to sell. And then I was like, I got it, you know, and he kicked me out. And I was like, I got it. This is not gonna. I thought you were gonna help get me rich, bro. The way it looks is not that. So I got to figure out how to get myself rich, and then I can help everybody else. And that's exactly what I did, bro. You know, well, not rich, but man, you know, I'm trying to get there.
Man, listen, you have. I think like you said, you know, while we're on the subject of Tau, actually, I want to show you I want to share my Tau story with you.
Let's hear it.
All right, cool. So you know this brother Supo man.
Yeah.
Would you like to learn? So anyway, and I love this story because I think the impact we have on each other sometimes as YouTubers is quite profound, because we watch each other's content, and you know, you've got to do the research and see what your peers are talking about, and of course what you talk about. And so I've always had a sense of independence. I don't really join groups. I do research, and I think I find something and I talk about it. Anyway, I bought some Tau. I think it was about 5 or 10 of them at around $67. So, you know, I'm proud of myself. You know, I've got, and again, you know, I saw this at $27 and whatever. So, and then on that night, I tuned into Supo's show. The Superman was like, this is going to go to $9. When he goes to $9, I thought,
holy shit, bro. See, that's what I'm talking about, is that I don't have that behind me, but I will soon. And it's like, to see that, and now where it's at today, and then the 700s, and like the possibilities, and then the fact that we've got the M2 global supply 11% higher than the last all-time high. Like, people are not paying attention to the right thing. They're worried about Brad Garlinghouse and fucking regulation for stable coins or whatever. I don't know. And they're talking about Trump, this and that, when it's right in front of us why the market's going up. It's the M2 here. You know, I mean, if you don't mind, I'll bust it out here.
Yeah, go, bro.
What I'm talking about. Let's do M2 Global. So if you don't know what M2 Global Supply is, the M2 Global Supply will show just that right now. So this is from 2012 all the way to today. This is the top 21, I believe, top 21 global banks year over year. Liquidity meaning cash, anything that can immediately be sold for liquidity, like for pure cash right away, right? And it says down here, top 21 central banks against the price of BTC, and it compares it to values from a year ago and so on and so forth and previously. The monetary mass or global liquidity, it includes cash, deposits of checks, savings accounts, market accounts, funds like ETF. I don't know if ETF fund, I'm not sure what kind of funds, and then deposits of less than 100,000. If global liquidity is increasing, it means that major central banks are making more money available to their country. So how does this work? When you have, okay, so let's take a quick look here. So this is right now 2025. It says $111 trillion in supply. Now, M2 is liquidity, like pure liquidity. M1, you might see it floating around. It's not pure liquidity. So it'll be other things that maybe like something that has to go through a couple hoops before they can sell it, but it's still almost pure liquid, right? Now, M2 is what most people compare because we want immediate liquidity because this market moves so fast. We can't say, hey, well, you need to wait for this transaction, bro. That's old news, man. We're in crypto, man. So we ain't waiting. Now, when I say Bitcoin's price an all-time high in M2, I threw that so fast, but let me show you what I mean. All right. So the last time we were at all-time highs was here. Now it shows right here, 102K. It does hit like 109, I think it was 105, all up in here. Now, if I scroll in closer, maybe, yeah, okay, perfect, 3 months. So right here, the global supply, whenever it moves, because liquidity comes from around the world and goes into those banks, their liquidity goes up. So now you see their liquidity was dipping. They got an injection. It's 108 trillion up. Now we've got 110 trillion, 110.6, 110.7, 110.8. Now it's 111. Now, Bitcoin it has always followed the M2 global supply. If it reverses, Bitcoin reverses and it goes up. Look, M2 starts to move up. Bitcoin does a death cross and immediately follows the chart and reverses back up. All right. So that's why I have been, if you've watched me on X or on YouTube or TikTok, anywhere, I called this the day that we had this day. It was not this day. It was April 5th when Bitcoin hit 75K or whatever it was. I called for all-time highs in 3 weeks. It was 5 weeks, but I was close. So how do you do that? It's through the things that other people aren't talking about or they're too lazy to go and learn about. And that's the stuff that makes you formidable against all those people. So not you in particular. I'm talking to the audience, obviously.
Nah, bro. Come on.
You're a vet, bro. I'm trying to, you know.
We will be rewarded by this information. And again, guys, smash a like for Danks. And this is absolutely vital information that we need in order to succeed in this space. And don't forget, by the way, people talk about M2, the way Danks just presented that with the death cross as well. That is what you need to see, bro. So really appreciate that, man. Now, I want to show you something. So you and I were talking about 2023 and what a wonderful year it was. You know why? Because in 23, we entered Kaspa and you know, we entered the likes of Pepe or whatever. So I have kind of like 3 portfolios in order for me to be diversified enough, at least anyway, to capture some different moves. But this is my main one. And in here, I have Kaspa, Sui, Pepe. Still have Pepe. I can't get rid of enough. Like,
It's
I've
hard
had it
to. How
since-
can you get rid of it when it goes up 80% every other week?
Fucking hell, it's been wild, bro. And then, of course, bit of Tau. What do you think of Beam? I wanted to.
My favorite gaming project. I don't have any right now, but it's my favorite.
Absolutely, bro. Because
Check this out.
Mm,
Beam invested in Move. Merit Circle is the founding company of Beam. They are one of the primary investors in Movement. So that's kind of why, like, and I sidetracked because I was going to say, Sui, they're kind of in the middle. Remember I said they're in the middle of figuring stuff out? I didn't actually get to my point, and I'm glad you brought that up. Sui blockchain is actually built for gaming, metaverse and gaming. It's way beyond anything that I've experienced. I don't know if I've seen any games I've played or anything like that on any of these Sui, Movement, Aptos, but apparently from the research I've done, and I'm sure maybe if you have or not, but maybe you know more or whatnot. But if that's the case, what's the holdup, man? Where are the games at?
Bro, I went balls deep into this Sui ecosystem. In fact, I look at this maybe 4 or 5 hours a day just to gather bits and pieces. So what's working really well right now is the transaction execution, account abstraction, and there's hardly any latency, which is really where crypto gaming was not functional. You know, that's been the problem. You know, the asset transfers, the transactions, it was just way too complex. And what I've noticed is, so they had this summit back in March, and nobody paid any attention to this. It's kind of like, okay, there is a summit for gaming specifically for Sui, bro. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man, this was in March, and it was amazing because what you have here is what came out of that, right? So right now, not everything has a token, but a lot of things are built on the Sui blockchain with the X1 in mind, where Sui is the main currency, right? But these individual projects, some of them are now starting to produce their own tokens. In terms of like, man, crazy stuff like X Society is ridiculous. Even so that ships with the X1 play, but we will not see, I mean, based on this conference anyway, Sui gaming, along with AI, I think it takes AI as well. It's going to be absolutely huge. And you know, make no mistake, it may not be, all of it may not be in this cycle, but I do believe within this and the next cycle, they will dominate. The next kind of gaming unicorn will definitely be born out of it. And I agree with you, man. I agree 100% what you said about it's suited to gaming because you understand the tech better than anyone in the space, actually. So yeah, this one's gonna be nuts, bro. Like I've again, you know, hopefully if you reach out to one of these token 24s in Dubai, maybe the next one, it happens every April here. It's either here or Singapore, man. But honestly, we should do like a link up with them because for me, it is the home of gaming. And again, you know, we were talking about Beam, who also have such a big amount of investment from Abu Dhabi over here, which is actually my hometown. I'm in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. I'm based over here, man. I had Trump motorcade outside of my house.
Oh, what?
Last week, bro.
Trump is taking the world by storm. I wanted to say something though, while we're on the topic of gaming. There's two things I wanted to talk about. Is one, if you and I did something like that, bro, we should make a documentary and go follow these cats around in their offices and stuff. That would be tight to give like a full in-depth, like get an expert's view from the computer seat right next to them or her, what is going, or they, or whatever, what is going on with what their specific job is and why is it important? Like we are missing a huge connection to people and technology of crypto. There's
Absolutely.
this major guardrail that hasn't been taken down yet for regular people to easily grasp the concept of crypto. It's very challenging to understand. I mean, I have people that buy Bitcoin just based off recommendation and their own research, and I go to start talking to them and they're like, Danks, like you got to slow down, and it's going to take me at least 6 months to understand the first sentence. And I'm just like, we got to find a way to fix that, you know? And I'm not sure how that works out. Maybe it's just going to happen naturally like the internet, but this is much different than the internet, right? And I do fall back on 2000s internet bubble a lot because crypto reminds me so much of that. And that was one of the first memories. You know, I think I was 12, something like that, when 2000 came. And I had an AOL 1.0, 2.0 upgraded with the dial-up, and you know, and I remember what that was like. And I remember actually having an MS-DOS only computer that only had a typing educator game on it, and that's how I learned how to type. You know, and now we go from text-based viewing read-only to full-blown building metaverses with an AI agent and prompts. Like that's
bro. It is insane. And honestly, I'm actually looking forward to what you said about, you know, really coming over here and creating content for the people. Like actually because again, crypto doesn't do this very well. They either go big channels, which distort the view anyway. You know, your crypto banters and these people, they are not for the average investor, man. It's a total manipulation, part of the big brother. I call it Area 51 because investors, you know, is the exit liquidity.
I know exactly why already, but good.
You know what I mean, bro? Like it's so fucked up. But hopefully, I am looking to do more of this stuff with you, man. And I'm so happy you came on tonight. Again, you know, such a great brother. What state are you from, bro?
I'm in California, United States of America, and Coachella Valley.
Damn.
Yeah, I live at Coachella is my backyard. Yeah. One last thing on the gaming, since I had one last thing, and then I'll let you. And I got to actually bounce as well. And thank you for bringing me on like spare last minute. That's cool, man.
Now we're gonna do this again, bro. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna structure this properly.
Absolutely. So, what do you think about Off the Grid? It's Epic Games' first crypto project. Now, it hasn't reached this buzz that I would expect from an Epic Games Fortnite dev team. Are you familiar with Off the Grid? I think it's been out maybe a year or so, and I think it's running 3.9 stars. But it looks
I've been on this. You know, I've been on this since day one. I have actually wrote a piece about this, which I wanted to kind of maybe discuss with you, but I kind of looked at the business aspect of it and whether it really benefits giving us, maybe, let me put it this way. This is a sacrifice of the highest quality to get people into Web3 rather than the investment being geared towards money generation for Web3 investors. And the reason I say that is...
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sorry, yeah, sure. So in the piece that I did a lot of research about the mechanics of the, of the whole investment. You know, you have the guns chain launching, and then you have against that, you've got a project, of course, you know, low float, high FDV. But in my opinion, we're good for 12 months. So if you think of April, right? So from April, of course, the timing was unfortunate. I think they could have pushed it back, in my opinion. But April to April, you have a decent run in terms of the inflation. It's manageable. April next year, it's totally unmanageable. But when you look at the business case, you have a studio studio launching a chain, and it employs around 100 people. So I guess my question was, and the part of the investment thesis, as opposed to, like, for example, the ability to not sell and continue with a project, or the requirement to sell in order to fund the project, they induce different pressures on the chart. So I looked at the size of their team. Of course, they're a very good team based in Europe, very expensive studio. On the Binance launch, the thing was shorted straight away. That was quite obvious. And I went into more detail about how can it succeed, because we do have. So then I came to the conclusion that, is this the one project that is in everyone's living room, on the Xbox, on the PlayStation, Epic, everything else, where you have the assets going for, I don't know, $5,000 or whatever, but that's all great within the game. But outside of that, really, as individual investors on the token itself, the gun token, how do we benefit? And I think I would love to hear your kind of opinions on that, bro. Like, because it is relatively low market cap for the circulation, and I do believe we can hold it for, say, maybe 8 more months to the top of the cycle, and I do believe it will pump. But these other pressures is where I had the looking at the team, the business case, the studio, the expenses. That's the kind of, and that's why they sell the tokens, in order to function the studio side of things. So yeah, would love to hear your thoughts, bro.
I think that anything that brings volume is good. I think as long as the volume is good, it's good, right? If they're trying to find a way to cater and bring more people into Web3, and let's not forget, Coinbase is their primary investor, by the way, right? So this is, we can't leave that behind. We have to recognize it almost might not even matter what the hell they do with their business, because we watched MAVIA go over 100-something million or whatever it was with no games, just pictures. So a lot of times, like, I try not to get bogged down in the overly tumultuous technicals of something like a game. And instead, I try to look at the outside and where can I eat that outside data to feed myself, right? Because I understand where you're getting at with what you were looking at, but you still came up short, right? And the ultimate goal, I think, for me at least, is I want to give an answer if possible. And if not, the answer has to be impossible for me to find, and I think that there's always, like, it's funny because I didn't think of this, and you're right, actually, right, about all of what you said. But then also I'm right? So then we have two completely different ideas that affect the game and then the market in two completely different ways, but could ultimately be bullish because of the fact that it's Epic Games. The guy just went on, the founder of Epic Games did a real humanized content piece of work on Lex Fridman podcast, talking about his life. It was a real nice piece, 3-4 hours, and it really made him. So it feels like everything's getting set up, and I don't think that it has to be one game, because Epic Games is never going away, and they've got Unreal Engine. It's their tech, and I think that this is just one shot at many. I personally think they should have just flipped and gave people the opportunity to use the NFTs, convert Fortnite into everything NFTs, because we would look. I'm played Fortnite from season 1. I played all the way through a couple years ago, and if I could sell my like Santa Grinch skin, it would probably go for a couple grand because it's rare, and like from season 2 or 1, and it would be dope to just log on my PS5 and make fucking 25K, that would be sick. But then I see your point. Well, how does that engage with the investor, retail or institution? And I think for me, it would be looking more like all they want to see is people playing the game. Yes. If it's free, that's even better, because the more people will play it. And then, $4.99 don't sound too bad every once in a while. $20, you know, that tank, that gun, that look, when I started playing War Thunder, bro, the first 3 days I spent $1,200, bro. And then I realized I didn't even need all that stuff because I don't even know how to use those planes. I need to start from the, you know. So this is a very complicated industry alone, gaming on its own, and then you add crypto. We saw with the likes of Rust fail on Neoxa. Same with GTA 5.
Well, I think you make a tremendous point, and that's almost the split I had in my head, bro. Because when I did this piece, it was kind of like, okay, I've been anticipating, I've been waiting, I've played the game, I love it, I love the, you know, the game economy, like you said, you know, with the extra skins, and you know, they did a Trump one. I don't know if you remember last
I didn't know. Oh, and no. Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did, like, it was insane, bro. Like, it was
that's like a one
like,
of one, never again, you know?
Never again, absolutely. And this was so I kind of wanted to give myself a justification to actually go in with more maybe firepower than I needed, because if you kind of underestimate what it means, it's almost like you don't know how much to put in. So what I did was I looked at a couple of things here, and this is the second post. So the first post was like all bullish. We're gonna get in. It's only $35 million market cap, and this was kind of like the dynamics. So I was thinking about Binance manipulation, but that also works the other way. So even though the token price is down 50% within the first 48 hours, they can also run it all the way to the ground where it is now, and then market make it to go to Valhalla.
Buy it all back up, make all that money. It's like, it's this cheating on the most crazy level, bro.
Exactly.
You got money, it's not cheating, but it's like you got money. It's a having that much money is a cheat code. I don't care who you are. I'm not against it. I love it. Go have trillions. I'm all about it. I'm a capitalist to the core. I love it, you know, but at the same time, it's like, I think you get where I'm going with that.
Well, this is why we couldn't hold it more than 12 months, because the amount of rage dumping April next year, regardless of where the market is, will be absolutely insane. Then I kind of looked at the, what else did I look at? I looked at the, wildcard risk. So node runners, potentially dumping the price. Of course, again, that's a speculation. You know, if the asset is gaining value, they may not dump it. And the mainnet is a few months away for the gun chain. Because once they put another 2 or 3 games out, we will see the value of the gun token going nuts, bro. But overall, there are rumors as well of a 30% buyback and burn. That could be something that really helps.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would think. I have seen a lot of this done in the past, though, and I haven't noticed a difference. So I don't know if like, in theory, it's supposed to be great. You're increasing your market cap exponentially by 30% quick, or however much fast they want to do it. But I don't know. I don't know if the sell pressure is too much, or is just, I haven't seen. You've been around longer, like I said, so maybe you've seen different, but.
No, I don't think it's too much at all, because if you actually take a balanced view, so like next time when we do a live, I mean, I will show you the positive vibes that I have from this thing, because it's absolutely kind of like on the circulating. It's immensely valuable right now, even when you compare it to the likes of Beam, because this is going to be the guns chain. But this was just kind of taking a different view of looking through how a studio burns through cash, because they got physical employees and 100 of them. So really, like, they need to make sure, like, can we make money was the question that everybody comes to. And I believe we'll make wild money, but we must sell towards the end of the year. Because if we take
profits.
Yeah, man. If we take guns to 2026, and nah, we're getting smoked, man. But anyway, bro, I know I've kept you.
Well, I was gonna say, isn't never mind. I was gonna say, never mind. I was like, isn't it Beam is on BNB, or is it's on BNB, right? And then it's on its own chain, but I think were they on AVAX? I think I got confused about that. Now I see AVAX again with this one with guns, right? So yeah, I've noticed that they've been releasing these interesting games with AVAX, and I just haven't seen that like grip, that grit that just like holds it and staples it, you know. And that's what we need. We need a COD. We need a, like, Big Time was close, and I think the tokenomics were a little wild, and the NFTs were still a little over our head, you know. Even for me, you know, it's like I'm a gamer, I'm an investor, I'm in finance, and still, if it takes me 4 hours to understand like how I'm supposed to get paid off an NFT, I'm just like, I'm futures trading your ass, man. You're out. You're out the spotlight. You're out the spotlight. You know, and I try to, you know.
What a legend.
So
what a legend, bro. Nah, listen, it's been a blast, man. I've done like now 2 hours 16, of which 1 hour you've been with me. So
nice.
It's 4 in the morning over here.
Oh man. 6 p.m. almost here.
That's okay, bro. Because the last time I was in Cali, man, I was in the Beverly Center in LA, and with my wife, we just flew in from Vegas, which is another mistake because you don't take your wife to Vegas.
No.
You know what I mean? I didn't know. We stayed at the Wynn Resort, bro. And as we were going up, you know, because obviously a married man, I'm retiring at 9 p.m. So we're going up the lift, and all these chicks are coming off with their bikinis going to the pool party.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sleeping there, like, you know, thinking, well, this is what you do. Anyway, ended up in the Beverly Center, buying an iPhone. And this is like 2021, 22. A group of kids came in, cleared out the whole, you know, you probably know that iPhone store there, or Apple store.
Mm-hmm.
They took everything, man, and people are just watching around like nothing's happening.
Wow. And, they robbed the store?
Oh, yeah. This is in Beverly Hills, man. Beverly Center, sorry.
I heard. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Thinking, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, you can't arrest them. The guy told me, no one's supposed to touch them. It's under $1,000. I'm like, okay.
That's great. I mean, crime is rampant. You sound like were you in the UK before, and now you relocated to Dubai? Is that correct?
Brother, I'm originally from London.
Oh, okay.
And but I've been here now for like 17 years. I lived in the UAE. Wow. You know, got family from here. My wife's from here, and yeah, man. When you come over here, you'll love it. You're gonna absolutely love the security. We don't lock our cars. My front gate is open right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, bro.
I'm 2 hours from the Mexico border, bro.
Damn.
It's called Calexico. It's like 2 hours from San Diego.
Yeah. The real Cali.
Calexico, bro. And then the other side is called Mexicali. Calexico. But it's a beautiful place. This place is desert, rolling mountains, you know.
Wow.
I would love to have you out here. Come stay with us. You have a good time, bro.
You too, bro. Likewise. And you know the bit, you know, the leg, I call it the Italy of California. You've got that strip where you got the ocean on both sides.
Yeah. So you're talking about what, Coronado down in San Diego? That's like a little island that has a bridge that gets to it. Yeah. Then you have Catalina Island, which is north by LA. It's like 20 miles off the coast. Take a little truck, like a boat, you know, and go over there and just drink and eat. And have you been to Miami?
Yeah.
Miami I lived in Miami for 5 years. Because Miami Beach is an island in both sides.
Oh, damn.
But I was gonna say real quick, and I was in Miami, and the whole time, even though it's beautiful, I miss California, bro. I'm a California boy through and through.
Yeah, man. There's something about it, to be honest. It's it's a magical place, but you have to have your wits about you. You know, you can't. It's. I was actually listening to. I'm a big fan of Nas, and I was listening to one of his albums, The King's Disease, and
Good one.
and there's a beautiful track there called what is it called? Somewhere to Be Nobody. That's. But he talks about a segment about California and how Dre told him, you know, don't get lost in the palm trees. Be safe. It's so beautiful. Like you think you know, and then obviously there's this edge to it. But when you come over here, bro, especially where I live in Abu Dhabi, it's a different world, man. I've never locked my car for years, ever.
Wow.
I leave my phone anywhere public. Sometimes I leave my Tangent wallet somewhere or ledger. Nothing. Wow. Absolutely nothing. The only thing is you become so lax that when you go to other countries, like when I go back to London, I have to then start putting things back in my head. Oh, did you close the car? Did you know?
Yeah, that makes. I know that London. I don't know much about the politics and much in UK or anywhere else, but the United States. However, I've heard that UK might not come back from this, man. And I don't know, but if they're up to, I just hope that I'm Christian. I believe in God, and I think that no matter what they try to do, I think it'll all turn out to be in the goods and not the evils, right? And I just keep on that, and I can't control anything else. I'll let the Zionists be them. I'll let the terrorists be them, and I'll be dank. All right,
bro. Before you go, I've got a different version for you. It's not really society crumbling. It's just the Walking Dead. You just see, honestly, you see walkers. I don't know if you've ever watched Walking Dead in the lockdown, and that shit was man.
Yeah, bro. It's banging out here, man. Yeah, it's crazy. I started driving Lyft just to get out, because you know how it is, bro. I'm sitting here 18 hours a day. I would love to go out, drive, make some money. And these guys are just open about it. Hey, you want some Fetty, cuh? You want some Fetty? I got Fetty, dog. I'm like, what are you talking? No, I don't want Fetty. You're selling Fetty by itself? He's like, yeah, dog. They love it like that way. I'm like, okay. That's not going to be good for anybody. To be transparent, long time ago, I was a heroin addict. I was homeless in San Diego for a year and a half or so, a little less. And back then we didn't have fentanyl. We didn't have these car whatever, and I still ended up having the worst end of the stick. Ended up homeless, OD'd. And I'm just so grateful that I got out of it and sober in 2012, before sober from hardcore drugs. I still smoke weed every day. But the thing is, I think it actually might be a good thing. I think we kind of needed Fetty to get people to realize, like, this is not a joke. Like, people for real are like, yeah, every once in a while, someone in and out of rehab, after a couple of years, they might go out on black or China. But on Fetty, they're gonna die. It's not if, it's when, and it's how soon, right?
Wow.
And it's intense. You touch it, it can kill you. If it's in your coke. A friend, my wife, she went to high school with a buddy. He recently died. He bought some cocaine and it had fentanyl in it. It killed him on the first sniff. So Theo Vaughn said to Mr. Patience, he says, I asked for this collab a while back, and now it's happened. Now I asked to be financially free. I think you're in a pretty good spot to do that. And Mr. Patience, I know you pretty well. I think that you're right on track. I could be wrong, but I think you're right on track. But we are Theo Vaughn said to JD Vance, which is the vice president under Trump. And Theo Vaughn's a comedian, if you know him. And he said, you can't even do cocaine in this country anymore. And JD laughed, bro. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true. Like, I don't, and I'm from Miami. Like, I'm very, hipster style. I travel going to raves and DJs and parties, and That's my lifestyle. But when it comes to putting my life at risk, even it sounds silly, I might touch black tar heroin back then. I am not messing with that Fetty because I know the clock, it does not have 60 seconds on that bitch.
Bro, look at this comment for you, bro.
Pratik, you're so inspiring. Danks, from being homeless and heroin addict to be what you're today. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you. It's God, man. I didn't do anything, man. I really didn't. I was actually hopeless, homeless, and just like I didn't. It wasn't up to me, man. And I wish I could say that I had any hand in it, and I really did not. Whatever you guys believe, I'm not here to like Jesus freak anybody. I'm just trying to say I don't know how it happened. All I know is it wasn't in my control. And that's how I live my life today. I don't panic about the markets. I have made early sells, which I wish I hadn't. However, I'm going to leave you with this. You never, if you do it right, you could still do it wrong. But if you do it right, you should never go broke taking profits. If you do it right.
Absolutely, bro.
You should never go broke.
Yo, you guys get that, yeah? You will never be broke for taking profits. Ever. That's beautiful, bro, man. Yo, thanks. When are we gonna do this again, bro?
I'm always down, bro. Whenever. Let's link up. Let's chop it up after or whenever you have some time. You get some rest. I know you're grinding. Get some sleep. You know, say what's up to your wife. Go enjoy your family and stuff. And call me when you get up tomorrow. It'll be morning for me. Late. What is it? It's 4 a.m. Oh, so yeah, you'll be at like, yeah, hit me up tomorrow, bro. Whenever
I'll hit you up tomorrow, but next time, we'll prepare a white dish dash for you with a headgear, and we'll get you to say, Habibi, come to Dubai.
Listen, man, I'm half Iranian and I'm half Cuban, so it's not beyond me to go all out. We don't drink alcohol at weddings, and that's brutal. So I can hang.
Hey, that's as good as. Well, you'll see all kinds of shit here that you never thought it was possible. So, yeah, man, let's lock it again. And thank you so much, man. Have a wonderful Saturday, guys. Go to Danks' channel. We've already provided the links. Support this man.
Go to cryptodanks.com. It's all there, baby.
Amazing, bro. Thank you so much, man. God bless you, bro.
You too, man. Thanks for having me on. Good to see you. Thanks, everyone. Hey, everybody in the chat, stay up. We're about to just keep on going. Look at them. 2 Global Supply. Do some research.
Absolutely, bro. Beautiful, bro. Thank you, bro. Yeah, good night, everyone.
Thanks,
God bless. Take care.
Take care.
Peace, guys. Bye.